This monologue was written by Sean Patrick Dunne in response to the question, what does he want writers in the literary community to know and understand about him? I absolutely fucking hate being a prison writer. It makes my allergies flare up just thinking about it. My throat itches with anger. My eyes fill with disdain. My skin breaks out with resentment. It's like every editor's desk at every literary journal, publishing house, annual writing contest, and school newspaper is just inundated with submissions from prison writers or something. And these cheese dick motherfuckers are really driving down the value on my shit. I try to decorate my envelopes in a spunky way so as to distract my recipients from the bullshit parental advisory label that the cockknocker who reads the outgoing mail stamps on there. But nothing's doing. It's come to the point where I'm certain that state prison-generated mail is interpreted as third-rate tripe from a pile of human garbage. Oh man, you gotta know how much I hate it. Does it ever occur to me that the summary rejection with which my work is customarily received could be based upon its lack of merit rather than a discriminatory act of classist passive aggression? No, it doesn't. Now, as pertains to the second part of your question about being a writer outside of prison, I will admit to this much. I've spent a fourth of my life in prison, it's true. But what the fuck was I doing the rest of the time? If I was so worried about the hard connotation of being a prison writer, then I shouldn't have spent the other 3/4 shooting up and masturbating in a bush. I hope my work will be received with the unyielding enthusiasm of a fucking Beatlemaniac at Shea Stadium in 1965. I want so many people to be screaming in ecstasy that you can't even hear what the fuck I'm saying. I want to be invited to spend the night at your house, and I want to drink your beers and smoke your bud, and I want to be DJ and master of ceremonies all night long for the meaningful experience that we're going to have. I want to be written letters of love and hope, precipitated not by some bourgeois charity agenda, but predicated instead by the value of my personality and talent. I want to take LSD with you. I want to ride bikes with you. I want to FaceTime with you. I want to lend myself to care about your problems. And when shit goes sour between you and your old man, I want to be the alkaline base that uncurdles your funk. I want to talk to you about punk rock. Fuck, man, I should have put that first. Oh, Christ. I've been thinking about this one a long time. Great heavens to Murgatroyd. I want to listen to new bands with you and cut and paste collages and write zines with you on your bedroom floor. I want to hold your hair back when you puke, girly. I want to buy you a corn dog, girl. You got to check out my double kick flips and my pressure flips, fakey pressure flips. Pressure flips for days, girl. And seahorses forever. We could totally watch all the horror movies I've missed these last 5 years I've been upstate. Oh, man, you don't even know. This one time, I sat there and watched all the Halloweens with this beautiful gothic girl named Crystal. I sat through 10 hours of Michael Myers, and don't get me wrong, I was fully into it because I love horror movies, and plus, we had just narrowly escaped the iniquitous obsession of methamphetamine possession, and we ate and slept finally, and her dad came by and took us to rent movies, so we were just smoking long bud and feeling the serenity of 1980s horror creep into the synaptic knobs of our overused dopamine receptors, and just doing it grand. But inasmuch as I had a lifetime-lasting episode of joy to reflect upon and look back in the real-life horror movie that would ultimately envelop the rest of my life, I also had a monumentally miserable experience because I wanted her so bad. But Crystal just didn't feel that way about me. One by one, Halloween, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the whole time flailing in the dichotomy of joy and abject torment as she sat there in her tiny boxer shorts on her futon beside me. It was awful. But maybe it won't be like that with you. Maybe this time you'll just look at me the way I always wish she had, and we'll go and put bottles of dish soap in the fountain at City Hall, and we'll start an acoustic punk band, and we'll hang out at Tompkins Square and Battery Park, and when the cold weather comes, and when the rain comes, and when the dope runs out, and when the cops come and take us away, and we wake up on the holding cell floor and we have to kick, at least we won't be alone. That is what I hope to accomplish when I put my motherfucking pen to page. I'm trying to make a friend, that's all. What do I want from your community? Maybe it's hard for you to imagine this, but I have tears in my eyes because no one has ever thought to ask me that question. So, I would like to yield the floor to the little blue-eyed boy inside me, staring out the window, waiting for Mom to come home at 3 a.m. The answer to your question is, I just want to be your friend.